Control, if you're listening, and you probably are because you're creepy that way, can I just rant for a second about the micromanagement? We're not blood-filled meat puppets. Yes, this is the science fiction rating system. My name is Alex Humphrey. I am a blood-filled meat puppet, and I am joined by other blood-filled meat puppets. Chris Redding is one of them. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Hey, how's that hotel room you're in? Is that a hotel room?
No, it's not a hotel room.
It does look like a hotel room.
Safe house.
He's in a safe house.
Take me for. This is my safe house.
Yeah, he's in a safe house. Shit's going down, by the way. I don't know what it is, but Chris isn't going to tell us.
You have to get out fast.
Did you not hear about what's happening tonight?
No one heard.
I've said too much.
Boris Johnson gave him the heads up, and now he's in a safe house. So
he's got a suitcase of beer with him.
Yeah, he's okay. He is not at a party.
2 words: Ukraine.
False flag.
False flag.
3 words.
Anyway, and also Sam Draper. Hey, Sam.
Hi. I'm not in a safe house.
No,
I'm in my normal
you're in an unsafe house.
It's not necessarily unsafe.
No, everyone's in a very safe house. Anyway,
sound construction.
Yeah, it does look like solid walls back there.
Thank you.
We're here to talk about life.
To Charm Man. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
We're here to talk about life. It was my 2017 pick, and I picked it for purely selfish reasons because I had heard that it was linked in some way to the film Venom. Now, we'll tackle this straight away. The reason everyone thought it was linked to Venom was because...
Before you say the reason, right?
Yeah.
Was this the reason you thought it was before you read up this time? I thought it was a better reason than this. Did you think that as well, or was that just me? No,
there are 2 reasons why I thought this was linked to Venom. Well, 3 actually. There are 3 reasons why it's linked to Venom, and I think they're not really... I think one of them actually is true. As in, I think one of them... Okay. One reason was that in the Spider-Man 3 trailer, they used... Oh, yeah. Sorry, in the live trailer, they used bits from the Spider-Man 3 B-roll. Yeah. So that was one reason, right? That's a bit of a rubbish reason. The second reason was because the people that screenwrote this, Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, had written a Venom script, and basically that didn't get made. And I think that this kind of has got elements of what would have been their Venom script in it. I think that you can see that there are things that were in that Venom script that have
I think it's a long
this.
way from it, but without a doubt, this was a symbiote origin story at some point.
Yes.
Surely.
Yes. And the third reason, which is the most kind of solid reason, is in the film Venom, where Venom, the symbiote is kept, or the other symbiote, is called the Life Foundation. Now, that is a bit of a weird coincidence. I mean, obviously, once you've seen the film Life, it is not linked. But
as a slight aside, do you remember is it Spider-Man 2 or 3 when he goes into space, doesn't he? Spider-Man's at a ball, isn't he? And you see Venom bloke going up into space. It's like they're setting up for a future. And I thought that's a really clever laying the groundwork, and they pissed it all away. But anyway,
they pissed it all away. But yes, the film Life, directed by Daniel Espinosa,
who's now making the Mobius film.
Yeah. Which was my...
It's in that same Venom-y sort of...
Yeah. And also the guys that wrote this wrote Deadpool.
Yeah.
So it was all, it's all the same.
Yeah,
it's all the same. The plot of it is a team of astronauts and scientists on an international space station study a specimen found on Mars that may contain the first evidence of extraterrestrial life, but when the organism goes dormant, they take matters into their own hands and realise that life will always find a way. I wrote that. Would you like to rate that synopsis, Chris?
He's on his phone.
He's on his phone.
It's poor because you're mixing Jurassic Park stuff with...
I thought it was quite a good gag. Okay.
You're mixing films.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
That was very Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So Chris, you had definitely seen this film, hadn't you?
Yes, I'd seen it quite a while ago, actually.
Yeah.
And I remember I kind of enjoyed it. Back then, I thought, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I think it was one of them times, though, where it was quite it was in an empty period where there wasn't much...
Yes, there wasn't much going on. Much sci-fi. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah.
And I also thought it was quite interesting how they have, Ryan Reynolds in it and they kill him.
Yes. Very interesting. Yeah.
I thought that was quite good.
Yeah. And Sam, you say that you thought you hadn't seen this, you had.
I thought I hadn't seen it, and I started watching it. I was like, I have seen this. But I think I must have turned it off. I don't remember the ending, but I remembered a lot more than just a trailer's worth of footage, so I must have started watching it something. I have a habit of downloading things because,
buying things, you mean?
I have quite easy access to films because of my industry connections, you see. So I have a habit of starting films and then wandering off.
Just throwing the Blu-rays in the bin.
Yeah, that's my kind of my showbiz life, you know.
Yeah. We start on the International Space Station. There's some ominous music, some nice space.
The start of this film was beautiful.
Yeah, really good wire work for the floating, wasn't it? I thought the floating was really good. That's
this film's one trick, isn't it, really?
It is.
Good wire work.
All wires.
Chris, can you tell us how they did it? Is it just wires?
I can tell you. I
don't think it's that, plain, is it?
Yeah, to emulate the lack of gravity, the actors were suspended by wires that wound up erased in post-production. Yeah, it's just wires. Yeah, it's just very well done. Just really good bit of work, just...
They've probably got that shit down now, haven't they? Really?
It looks really good, though.
'Cause they've been doing it for decades, that wire stuff.
Yeah, but, I mean...
I bet there's some great, blooper outtakes. Them getting the wires, tangled, and they're all just getting spun around in this big circled bodies,
Yeah.
Also, the spacey fake people, they think that the real space station uses the wires, so...
So they think that no wonder they have this technology, because...
This is adding to the space fake movement, this film.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, so we've got old Ryan Reynolds, and he's just being Ryan Reynolds, isn't he? He's just literally wisecracking.
And bad actors.
I like him, but yeah,
he's dreadful.
Have you seen Buried?
No.
It's where he's literally buried alive in that film. It's 100 hour and a half
and is he
still buried alive. Not so much quipping, but
I bet he still does one quip at least. He's always quipping.
You've also got Jake Gyllenhaal. He's here. He's floating around. And
I quite rate him, but I think he's crap in this.
No, he's...
I didn't mind
I actually forgot he was in this.
Yeah. Rebecca Ferguson, who we just saw in June, she was very good, I thought. I liked her in this.
She's alright in this.
Yeah.
She's good in other stuff, better than stuff, but she's alright in this.
The person I think that should be a bit maybe a little bit ashamed of himself for being in this is, I'm sorry if I get his name wrong, Hiroyuki Sandana, who was in Sunshine. And I feel a little bit like his agent was like, right, okay, you remember that film Sunshine where you were on an International Space Station? We've got another film on an
International Space.
But it's an International Space mission, isn't it? Where they're all wearing their flags on their...
I didn't know he was in Sunshine. I remember that at all.
Yeah, but aren't they all wearing their flags on their... Like in this, they all wear their flags on their sleeves, don't they?
He's good in this as well, I thought.
I don't know what they do in that, actually.
The French woman was terrible, and I think they're all showing her up a lot. Her and Ryan Reynolds.
Or French or Russian. I wrote down French, and then I wrote down Russian. I couldn't tell.
Was she not French?
I couldn't tell.
Oh no, Olga Diovicina.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, I thought she was French.
I mean, I'm not being rude. She's got no credits on IMDb. There was nothing on IMDb that I could find for her. And then the other member of the crew is a British guy who is
Arian Bakary.
Yes, who is disabled, which is an interesting. So two reasons that's interesting. One, it's interesting because there is. In the Venom comics, they end up doing they have a character who's basically in a wheelchair who becomes Venom, and it makes him walk. So that's kind of like a whole plot in the. So I was a bit like, oh, this is a bit more linked to Venom in that, but it's not. But I thought that was quite a clever idea to have someone like him in space because obviously his experience of space was very different to everyone else's because he was completely free in space, wasn't he?
Yeah. And don't do anything with that as a character trait.
Not really. They spend more time with Jake Gyllenhaal. But going on about how shitty humanity is and how he prefers being in space, didn't they? That was quite an odd character trait.
It's really weird. Again, goes nowhere.
Yeah.
Other than him saying like, "Oh, at the end, no, don't worry about me."
Yeah. So, I mean, plot-wise, Ryan Reynolds has to grab this probe. Has gone. It's got the sample in, but something's gone wrong with the probe, hasn't it? So they have to grab it out. It's a nice intro. I thought it looked nice. Bit of
nice technical banter.
Where's that probe from again?
Mars, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't do what they're suggesting happens here. I mean, it's just not feasible.
No, I do appreciate that in the beginning, even though Ryan Reynolds is in space, they shoot it all from inside, so that later on when they go out into space, they can then show that off. It's not like they reuse the same. Do you know what I mean? Like
you're not seeing the space stuff outside Earth.
Right, they don't open with him out in space or anything like that.
I see.
They stay inside and watch him out the window and stuff. There's actually a really nice shot of him out the window.
The film is very much about like claustrophobia, isn't it?
Yes.
They do a lot of those, even internal inside the internal bays.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dialogue through a closed door, isn't there?
Yeah.
Muffled stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much wearing its influences on its sleeve. There's the Thing in there. There's Alien, obviously, in there. I mean, there's probably 2001 in there.
Reanimator, which they literally mentioned at one point.
Yeah, Reanimator.
Well, Prometheus now. This is basically a lot of Prometheus in this now.
Was this before Prometheus?
This is after Prometheus.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay, that's a pity.
Way after.
So they get the alien, and there's a good bit when I thought this was quite realistic when they're talking to the kids on Earth and they're explaining some stuff. I thought that was quite a good bit of way of explaining things without explaining them. I quite liked that.
The problem with that is though that the bantz that's going on the ship during that is so unrealistic. The way they're
but they have to make it though. I mean, they're so boring, real astronauts. You couldn't make a film based on what scientists actually sound.
You couldn't, but just don't do that bit then, because like the initial bit, the ship banter when Reynolds is outside.
But he's not an astronaut, is he? He does say this several times.
Yeah, but I thought they reined that in quite well there. But then when they switch to that bit when they're doing the thing back to Earth, Times Square, all of them are very camera ready and very like. Got the quip going on.
Yeah, I guess.
But don't you think that out of it a bit?
They named the kids of Earth. Decide to name the Martian Calvin. I couldn't find any reason for that. Like if that's a joke or I couldn't find a reason for why it's called Calvin. It's a pretty terrible name, and they have to keep calling it Calvin all the way through, don't they?
It's weird, isn't it?
Which is odd.
What should they call it?
Something odd. Something spacey.
What would you call it? Chris, what would you call it?
Xenomorph 1.
Vector.
Thing is, you call it Xenomorph, you're kind of like tempting fate a bit there, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess.
I'd call it, what's a friendly alien? Who's a friendly alien?
Alf.
Yoda. Alf, yeah.
Unless you're a cat, and then you're fucked.
Watto.
Yeah, we're going to name it Watto after our favourite film.
Jar Jar. We're going to have fun.
And then we're basically like, you're kind of moving, you're kind of seeing the scientist guy get obsessed with this alien, aren't you? And they're developing the idea here that the scientist is the only one, because Rebecca Ferguson is like she's like the security officer.
Because you always need that on the space station, like, generally.
Well, it is a bit of an odd job description, isn't it? But
isn't the idea that she's security literally for his organism?
Yes. Yeah.
What they've sent her up there for this reason.
I think so. That's the idea, isn't it? Because
I guess that's feasible.
Yeah.
That okay. I let that one slide.
And they've had a lot of meetings.
3 firewalls at the end.
Yes.
Okay.
That's like
That's gone from a red to an amber.
And they've had a lot of meetings about this. Yeah. And as Sam accurately points out, there's 3 firewalls. The first firewall is the box that Calvin is in, and the second is the lab that the box is in. We'll get to the third firewall later.
The module.
Yes. But they very clearly show that only that scientist is allowed in that room with the alien. Like no one else goes. I quite liked all that. They weren't playing silly buggers like, oh, I'm going to go in and like pet it, or what happens if I give it some beer, or like.
Yeah, they weren't for like the first 20 minutes of the film.
Yeah, but that's enough. Other films aren't this serious about it. I didn't think. Don't you think?
I think. Because they're trying to be so serious, it feels more ridiculous when they just repeatedly do the wrong thing.
But compared to like Alien, Covenant, or Prometheus, who they're fucking mental compared to this. Like they're literally like, oh, we land the ship. Oh, we've discovered life. Let's go out for some smokes.
Yeah.
Like, but that's a far future, isn't it? That's a different world.
I think.
Yeah, but still haven't come across new life.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
I think they're doing. I think it's not. I'm not saying this is like a pure hard science, but I think they're trying to be a little bit more realistic to what would happen, and Well,
let's just keep going with it.
Yeah,
because it's not realistic at all. Very quickly.
Anyway, the thing kind of goes into hibernation because of it. Like, I didn't understand that. Does the guy muck something up, doesn't he? And then that puts the organism in hibernation.
Before the hibernation, the thing has started reacting to his like probe, and it's moving around.
Yeah,
very alive.
Yeah,
right?
and growing.
At that point, you find something like that, right?
Yep.
Let's lock this shit down.
That's it. Like, he doesn't touch it after that. They don't go anywhere fucking near it. Like,
yeah,
Harry, you just, the alarm bells are going off. Also, in World, he says, about Reanimator. So you've got to think real films exist.
Yeah.
So even with our film knowledge, we know, don't fucking go near it. It doesn't matter how secure you think you are. If it's doing little dances with its fingers and suggesting it knows that much, then you've got to be real hands off with it.
So what should they have done? Just killed it at that point?
I think really, really isolated it. Like, thought about it again. Put it separate, like literally in a separate bit of space, maybe, with a camera in there. I don't know. You could do also things, couldn't you? You could rig something up so that there was literally no way of getting to it without several, I don't know, airlocks. Or you literally move it away from the ship.
Yeah, you don't have to have humans there. They could have remotely been moving robots.
Cameras and stuff.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying here. No, that's fair enough. Well, they don't do that. It goes into hibernation, and they decide to...
I assume this thing's been hibernating for millions of years on the surface of Mars, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What, is a single cell?
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? When we first
How does something evolve, right? How does something evolve where it becomes a single cell and then can do all of this, what we're talking about here?
They say in this that every cell of this thing has all the bits. It has all the things.
Everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has everything in each cell.
Yeah, well, our cells have that, like, because we start off from one cell, don't we? And then that makes all the different types of cells.
I thought I was going to answer the question, Chris. Sorry. I don't have anything else.
But we've come from we're quite a complicated organism, right?
Yeah.
They've just found a cell on the surface of Mars.
Soil on Mars, yeah.
Where are all the complicated animals walking around Mars?
Yeah. Like, what was going on with that cell before this?
Yeah. And has it been in hibernation since this?
Unless it was like water? A weapon, like a Prometheus weapon.
No, they're not really. They don't explain that. I mean, they don't even try to, which I think is probably in the...
Because this is basically a Prometheus weapon, just like Prometheus, isn't it, really?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Well, is it, or is it that because they shock it back to life, it's pissed off? And once it's killed everybody and shocked back to his life, it'd be like, right, I'm fine, I'm off now. Like,
it's just trying to survive, though, isn't it? They say quite a lot that all it's trying to do is to get air, food, and water.
Yeah,
and it'll change to its environment.
Yeah,
like it'll make a body shape which will survive in a particular.
Yeah,
like this is weightless, right? Yeah. So, I'll get on to my main killer. Okay. Go on.
So what? So they shock it to get it alive, which it does seem that they shouldn't really be doing
irresponsible
this. Very irresponsible. They shouldn't be doing this. And then there's a really I thought it was really well done, horrible bit where the guy Hugh, his hand is in and he can't get out, and the thing just smushes his smushes his hand, doesn't it? And he manages to pull it out, and it's all
the shot when it comes out is all dangling.
Oh, it's gross, horrible.
I mean, I'm not quite sure what happened there.
It's because it's trying to get out. It's trying to get it back out through the box, the first firewall. It's worked out that it can escape, hasn't it? That's
it breaks his arm type thing.
Yeah, and that's the way out.
Yeah, I don't know.
So then, basically, I mean, I really, it's too late now to say this, I really benefited from never having seen this, because then when Ryan Reynolds goes in there and just gets really fucked up, I was actually quite surprised, because I did assume he would be a much bigger character, and he's just horribly killed as well. And I mean, I think the guy that made it was very much trying to do a bit of a Psycho in that, you get the biggest lead in there and then you kill them, which really fucks. I guess it's a bit diminished by the fact Jake Gyllenhaal's in this as well, so you've got quite quickly got a fallback lead. So that maybe is a failing, but I thought it was pretty well done. I was quite impressed.
When he dies?
Yeah.
Do we see them wrap him in gold paper? Because, at the end, he's wrapped up in a big gold sheet.
They do a bit where they wrap him up. Yeah, there is.
They do wrap him up.
They do wrap him up.
Okay. Yeah. Because I couldn't work out why. I thought the alien maybe had wrapped him in gold paper just for a laugh. I don't know. what was going on, but I must have missed that bit.
I quite liked it. I quite liked it when they kill him. But yeah, I mean, pretty much from here on in, we're in very familiar territory in that the aliens got out. They realise they need to stop this alien.
You can't get from one module to another other than through the actual, the hatch on the space station. Mm. There's no other connecting like vents like they make.
Oh, when it's out, because it goes outside now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't do that.
Well, if they're saying it's going out into space...
Yeah, that's what it does, isn't it?
That's kind of that's a very hostile environment for a creature which is just evolved in a warm air environment.
Yes, it adapts.
They do at least say, don't they? They do say, like, it should be dead by now. They can't understand why it's still alive. They at least mention that.
So it starts getting the coolant out of everyone's suits, doesn't it?
This film, though, literally from here until the end, is basically... There's not an alien in the room. The alien gets in the room. They run out of the room, and at the last minute close the airlock. It's just that over and over and over again, isn't it? It's lots of people slamming an airlock shut at the last second.
I mean, I have to say I enjoyed that, though. But are you saying that
wasn't...
I'm
not getting bored of it, though, because it's obvious. Every time it like swims towards them, and then at the last second, we've closed the airlock.
Yeah, I guess. You know the bit... So there's there's another horrible bit where the Russian/French woman, she's outside, and it gets on her, and the coolant starts filling up. Do you know that that's actually based on a real incident in space?
Astronaut.
That's not funny.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Well, he didn't actually die.
No. It was day 5.
Okay. Right.
It was Italian astronaut.
Yes. Well, wow.
Luca Parmitano.
Chris knows his shit. I've got it written down. Well done.
Because water just sticks to you.
Yep.
Because it's like what do they call it? Pressure. Surface tension, and he literally just had to drink it because otherwise it would just sit there over his face.
Yeah, bang on. Yeah, I don't know why it's. You know what? Sometimes
but he survived.
I can see why Chris.
Yeah, he just drank it because they got him inside, but it's like a half an hour process. But he was just drinking the.
He couldn't see very well.
The coolant water,
like how hers thing. He could.
Well, the others had to sort of help him in, type thing.
Yeah. So yeah, how horrible that is. You're just like, oh shit, that's...
It was horrible. It was also silly, when she's like, he's going, turn it clockwise to get you in. She's turning the other way. For ages and ages, Uma comes in and she goes, she's doing it on purpose.
That is... Yeah, he can't work it out, can he? Yeah,
We've all got that, and he should have got it by now, really, shouldn't he?
Yeah, that is quite funny. There's quite a lot... I'll tell you another thing that happens a lot in this film. Someone dies, and it cuts to all of them crying quite a lot at the person dying. Yeah. But there's quite a lot of scenes of just like... close-ups of each of them.
What's happened to the control again on this? The Houston.
Oh, the communications. Yeah, it's destroyed that.
It's after it gets out of the science thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does the alien destroy it?
I think it does. Yeah.
That's stupid.
Or does the initial impact with the? No. I think it is the alien that does it.
The station's communication system overheats, cutting off contact with Earth.
Yeah.
See, it tries to get in the thrusters now. Could it do that, Chris? Is that possible, do you think?
Well, I guess it can do anything now. They've established it can do anything, so...
But they seem to imply that the thrusters are a way back into the ship.
Well, no. I mean, there's no connecting, you can't... Otherwise, it wouldn't be a very good fucking spaceship, would it?
Yeah,
if you can literally walk from space to inside.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I did wonder that because that would imply it's a window. So and the window is open. Therefore, if that's,
that's a good spaceship.
Yeah, I was confused by that. I was like, am I missing something here? Yeah, I thought.
Because actually, they repeatedly show that he can't get through a window, don't they? He quite often tries to break a window or someone's
they literally close doors in his face all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, he can clearly walk through walls because he can go outside.
Yeah. So it's kind of, as Chris said, the Calvin now it's like a squid, isn't it, basically? It's like a weird grey...
Perfect sense for, it's a zero-G, air, oxygen environment. You would, swim.
Yeah. I like how it looks.
It's how it gets weird, like a weird like face, doesn't it? And it starts going like.
Yeah, it gets. Yeah. So from here,
that's a bit stupid.
It gets bigger and bigger. Then it kind of gets wings, doesn't it? That propel it better, and then it gets these weird teeth things. That's a bit like over the top.
But again, there'd be no reason for it to be like strong or have bones.
No,
or because it only really needs to propel itself, other than it's. It's like within its design that it knows it needs to fight things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, as they keep saying, this thing is just trying to survive. It's just trying to stay alive.
But it's also trying to become a villain. Like, it's becoming more and more...
It is a bit more villainous, yeah. I mean, it tries to kill the Japanese guy who's...
It starts, like, staring him out with its weird eyes, and things like that. It loses that kind of... I'm just an organism trying to survive thing, and becomes more of like a xenomorph.
Yeah, I guess. It's here that's revealed what Firewall 3 is. Firewall 3 is a ship because there is basically they have decided in a planning meeting that she had before she went up. There's no way this thing could get to Earth. They are not allowing this thing to get to Earth. It's got to be up in space forever. That's so. Basically, she's implying that the ship needs to be...
Well, that's good because it'll stay there anyway in space because it's in orbit.
Well, I feel almost like it could adapt to the orbit and then the atmosphere and then just get in anyway.
If it can literally go outside...
Yeah.
If it can do the things that it showed it can do...
Yeah.
It could probably, build its own spaceship.
Out of the scrap of the station, yeah. I did think it was a bit silly. I like that VR model of the ship, but I did think it was a bit silly... that somehow the squid has swallowed the tracker in the guy. So now you see him, the alien, you can track the alien.
You have to have that classic image though, don't you? Going between.
I didn't really like, I felt that was a bit too, that felt,
aliens.
It felt like the bit in Jurassic Park 3 where the thingy eats the satellite that eats the phone. It felt a bit like convoluted that I didn't really like.
It was also silly when they find it and it's just like snacking away on that guy.
Yeah.
And he looks up like, and runs towards him. It's a bit,
I mean, I was still enjoying it at this point. I think it's quite a chaotic film. It's quite a lot of I was still in there. I was still enjoying that.
How does a thing know how to make the space station re-enter? Because they slightly imply that the thing's trying to make the space station re-enter, right?
I don't think the thing's doing it. I think it's just it's just all fucked up.
I think the spaceship's just I think it's just falling
It's
apart.
got just the real talent for look.
Yeah,
it seems to be very lucky.
Yes, the space. I've written it here. Space station is decaying and going into Earth's orbit. They've got 39 minutes till they enter the atmosphere.
Is it because of the Pratt and the thrusters? Maybe.
Yeah, they fuck with all the thrusters. Yeah, they fire all the thrusters. Yeah. I
don't know.
Yeah, there's a bit of an odd bit here because earlier on, previously, they have bought the book Goodnight Moon for the Japanese guy because his daughter.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where Jake Gyllenhaal starts quoting Goodnight Moon, and he just
for ages,
and he's like, "Goodnight, nobody," and he's like, "Nobody." And then he has this he says, and then he goes, "Good night, air," and he's like, "I know, we can use the oxygen as bait," and it's a bit it's a bit ridiculous.
And the woman with him's acting like it's the most profound thing she's ever heard.
Yeah,
she's hanging off every word good night, cow. Oh,
yeah. I mean, it quite classically is a bit of a nonsense book for babies. That's literally what that book is. That's why it's so popular. But so they use oxygen as bait. And their plan is that one of them will go into one lifeboat and one of them will go in the other. And Jake Gyllenhaal, who basically hates all humans and just wants to live in space forever, he'll get the thing in there and then she'll just go off to Earth and he'll just jet off into space forever and then that'll be it.
Do you think this is the most telegraphed twist in the history of film?
I didn't. I was.
You didn't see it coming?
No.
Pretty much the whole film, they're telling you that it shouldn't get to Earth. It shouldn't get to Earth.
I guess the way I was watching it was just going to be a big heroic, Jake Gyllenhaal, what a hero. I thought it was going to be a bit...
What they should have done is detached, anything which could have got it to Earth, anything with a heat shield, maybe. So they should have detached the Soyuz straight away.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're on the space station, it will just burn up.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. So what? Get rid of all the thing.
There shouldn't be any means to get to Earth safely.
Right.
Although this thing is shown that it could probably just doesn't need a space. It doesn't need a heat shield to get back to Earth, right?
Would the humans die as well?
Well, yeah, in theory, but I mean, what do you want?
Yeah, no. I'm fine with your plan.
I mean, you'd think that Firewall 3 would involve self-sacrifice, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If it's literally the fate of the whole planet, and she's obviously been told that that's a possibility here, then why isn't one of her rules, blow it to shit or whatever, or we all just, whatever?
Yeah. Yeah.
Soyuz couldn't push it out into deep space or whatever they're suggesting it could do either. Just couldn't do that.
No.
I mean, the escape pods they've got, they take the escape pods eventually.
Yeah.
Why didn't they get in those a lot earlier on?
No, that's a bit odd, isn't it?
Well, in theory, it could have still chased them into one of them, right?
But it's absent for a long time, and they've got that method of tracking it. So it's when it's on the other end of the ship, getting the AirPod, the thing.
Early on when they didn't, when it didn't really know, when it's got all the things it needs, like oxygen and stuff, and
literally they get into them. They get into them things all the time normally for the slightest issue.
Yeah.
As soon as things started going south, they would have gotten into them.
Yeah. So
even when they move, because sometimes they have to move one from one docking thing to another docking port. They literally just have to move it to make space for another one, and all three guys have to go in it. You can't just send one person in it because that would be the maximum capacity of escape.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You can't if it's gonna leave to even swap to a different port. All three guys have to go in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is the problem again with you're making a silly slasher horror film on a ship, but you're trying to be serious about it. You invite all these questions.
They've been better doing it in the future where they can get away with dog shit science,
like Jason X.
Yeah, don't do one in the real world. I don't think. Without unless you actually stick to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, as Sam says, it has quite a very dark ending in that I assumed that Jake Gyllenhaal was off in space and the woman had survived. Actually, she's spinning off into space. Jake Gyllenhaal lands on Earth in Thailand or somewhere like somewhere in Southeast Asia, and then some lovely fishermen go out to try to help him, and basically just the fucking pod is full of this spiny, horrendous alien that's just impaled him, but he's still alive, isn't he? He's all like, "Oh, don't open the door," like that. And then it just zooms, it just kind of weirdly just comes out and out and out. And then they play Spirit in the Sky over the credits, which I thought was quite a good a good song choice.
Actually, the soundtrack of this film was dog shit.
You didn't like the music?
That terrible Inception noise it plays over that very end bit as it goes out, it's just going as all films do.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
It was a lot like, what's it, the Sandra Bullock one, wasn't it, in
Gravity.
A lot of ways?
A bit, yeah.
I've not seen that. It was described as the inverse of Gravity on a review that I read.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
guess isn't she out in space? She's floating around in space, isn't she? So.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same. It's literally the same. She's trying. I mean, there's no alien. She's just trying to get back to Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just things are just going south. I mean, it's a bit more realistic, I guess, even though it is still very, very flawed science-wise. But yeah, we should watch that. Actually.
Yeah, we should do Gravity.
I'd like to see that.
Well, that was life. So let's go round the virtual room, the virtual table. Yeah, Chris, what was your feelings on life?
Oh, I forgot to say at the end, right?
Yeah,
that creature only knows 0G up until this point, right?
Yeah, that's gonna.
So, when you bring a fish up, a fish up from the bottom of the ocean,
yeah,
and you bring it up and it feels gravity,
yeah.
It's literally like a jellyfish flat on the ground. It can't move.
Yeah.
Its muscles do not know how to move. This suggests that this is a real discussion. This suggests that this organism, right, has been designed or to operate beyond what it knows at that point. You know what I mean? Normally it would take it to die and then to evolve into
yeah.
This seems like this has been engineered with everything that it's going to come up against built in.
Yeah.
It's like a biological AI, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been...
Yeah, that's why I think this is actually probably a biological weapon not like an actual...
I mean, they do have very different... Sometimes it seems to take it ages to develop something, and as you say, other times it seems to develop that thing really quickly. So
very fast.
Yeah. So
because like what it's doing to Jake Gyllenhaal is completely different to what it's done to everybody else. So what's that evolution? What's gone on there?
I don't know. Yeah. And it can't know that it's going into Earth's atmosphere, or that it now will be on a planet with gravity. And all that.
The point that it can understand where it is, and it just didn't make any sense that it knows where it is and it can preempt things. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
And I think this is like this muddy thought, which is kind of troubling, like especially like science literacy, that people don't actually understand how natural selection works or how evolution works.
So are you saying that because it's trying to be a bit more sciencey, it's actually worse? Because if it had just been pure fantasy, you could have got on a board. But because it's trying to throw some science in there, it's actually being kind of more annoying because it's actually it's bad science, basically.
Yeah, it's not like... I think any one of them people on that ship, if they were scientists, would have commented that this is not following normal evolution.
Yeah.
By any no normal rules.
Yeah.
The only comment they make is when he goes, "Oh, it should be dead by now outside." That's the only time he says this is unusual.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I think that the film is trying to get away with that by having Ryan Reynolds says he's like a plumber. Jake Gyllenhaal's the doctor. Then there's the woman that's the captain. I think the Japanese guy's the pilot, and the woman is a security officer. There's actually I think the film was trying to claim to you, we only have one scientist, so these other guys don't really...
No, they'd all have PhDs.
Yes, exactly. To be astronauts.
This is not... Yeah.
You can't just...
He's calling himself a plumber. He's not a fucking plumber.
No, that's so stupid, that is.
Yeah.
He's just... That's either a joke...
Yeah. Or that's not understanding...
Armageddon. They're not selling me this. No. This is Armageddon, right?
No. They should all have a very advanced knowledge.
What was Ryan Reynolds' actual job title? What was he?
I don't know. No, he is just literally the engineer or something, isn't he? He's like the odd job man on the.
Yeah, well, they just don't have that. No. All of the astronauts have to do that. They all have to fix the toilet if the toilet breaks.
Yeah.
Well, they have that a bit as well because Gyllenhaal says he's the pilot, doesn't he? And he's a medical officer as well. So he is, at the end when he goes, I've got to do that until I'm the pilot.
Yeah.
So they have stuck with it halfway. Then they've also put in stupid joke characters as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So what, overall, Chris, you're out. Is that what you're saying? You're not happy with life?
It's entertaining, but it's kind of like an episode of The Twilight Zone or something. It really is. It's literally just a fun little monster story.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any depth to it at all or meaning.
No.
Really, does it?
No, it doesn't have any meaning. No, I didn't take any meaning.
Even The Thing, right, which is very similar. At the you see the big spaceship and you see there's an explanation for what.
Yeah, The Thing's got a lot more of a comment on society and on humanity turning against itself and all that. Yeah, this isn't really making that point. The point it's making is life, eh? Wow.
And I also think this is too similar to Prometheus and what they were doing there. Right. It's literally the same.
Okay. Sam?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. And you've hit on the reason there why. It is because The Thing's a great example because the characters in that do something and have an arc and the interactions between them is meaningful. There's nothing to the characters other than, as you say, they've got a predefined role each, and they're all a bit weepy about each other dying. There's no dynamics, and I get that. It's a horror film, so it's we've all got to survive. But as we've discussed throughout, if you're going to make a very realistic horror film, you've got to try a lot harder to make it convincing because it very quickly turns to nonsense.
Maybe it's because, in The Thing and in Alien, they're salt of the earth people at the beginning. They're like truckers and real people.
Yeah.
They're not. We don't have them type of people yet in space in the modern day.
No,
but also the setup's just better. The Thing is the characters are defined better. The situation they're in of really, if this was in deep space, right, and they're all going a bit mad, claustrophobic, crazy anyway, it'd work better more as a horror film, wouldn't it? We've watched things like that before.
Yeah.
But like Chris says, because we kind of know what an astronaut is, and it isn't this at all, and there's no reason in the script for them to do anything other than their job, right? Which isn't entertaining.
No.
And they're not doing it well, so it doesn't work. There's no... both sides it don't work. It's not a realistic take on what would happen if life turned up, and it's not a very good horror film for me. So I didn't enjoy it.
I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. I didn't know anything about it, so it...
I was entertained. Don't get me wrong. I was there going, "Oh, that's good. Someone's getting fucked up by an alien. Why wouldn't I want to see that?"
Yeah. That gets me like that. You get a lot from me if you can do that. I like that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, I think all the stuff you're saying is completely valid, and I think maybe I was like, oh, this feels a bit more realistic. But you're right, in a way. The feeling a bit more realistic is actually undermining it, because then you just start questioning it a bit too much, and actually it isn't realistic. And when you pick into it with a bit more depth, it really isn't. It's actually that unravels it quicker than if it had been. It's 70, 89, and we're on this spaceship, and that's just because we do that because that's what we do. They're trying to be. It feels like it's set kind of around now, like it's modern day, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah, because you mentioned seeing Challenger as a kid on TV, doesn't he?
Yeah, and it's not much in the future.
Clearly, he's the age that he is.
Yeah. So no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I wish it had been a Venom. I really wish it had been a bit more left open to be a Venom prequel. But
I was going to say that actually. The thing about it that it didn't deserve was that I kept expecting at some point to evolve into taking over one of the crew.
Yes, I thought that. Yeah,
because of the Venom connection, and it never happened.
Yeah, no,
so
I thought that.
I had this weird thought of like, oh, is this the time? But it kept going back to that disabled.
Or you saw people like jiggling about, and you're like, oh, is it in them?
Oh, it's in them.
Yeah, no,
it
never wasn't.
Was. That was a weird thing to.
No,
that's not the film's fault, is it? That's the fault of. Yeah. I was thinking it's a Venom film.
Yeah.
But
Yes. No, but I enjoyed it. But I can completely hear all of your problems with it. With that in mind, I mean, on the list, I'll tell you a film that's a bit like that I enjoyed and you all thought was terrible. And that was the film Species. And that is at 187. Now, do we think it's better than Species?
The only flag in the ground I'd like to put is that I think it's a worse film than Jason X.
Ooh.
It's at 173.
Okay.
That's the only flag in the ground I want to plant. But, if you want to go higher than that...
I mean, I can see what...
Species made more sense, though.
Really? Did it?
Yeah.
I mean, Species had... what's his face being a psychic in it? Do you remember that? Like, what's his name? Forrest Whitaker as a psychic who kept going.
About the psychic.
Oh, she's upset.
I forgot about the psychic stuff.
Oh man, I love Species.
This alien wasn't doing sexy seduction either, was it? Is that more realistic than this alien?
Well, at least they've shown that one was operating as it was an intelligent life form. Acceptable. It had a pattern of behaviour.
It started off further along the line than this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy.
It wasn't a single cell start.
I'm happy for this to go either above or below Species, because I feel very much this film is like Species, and that I enjoyed this just because it was dumb and entertaining. But I could totally see all the issues with them. I think it is probably better than The Abyss. The Abyss is a bit boring.
The Abyss again is similar in some ways.
Yeah.
Claustrophobic film, alien.
Yeah. Maybe it isn't as good as Equilibrium because gun guitar. So, I'm never going to, the film that invented that, I'm not going to think this is not better than that. But do we think...
This film's a thought crime. Or...
do you think it's above Species, below crime. Species?
I don't know.
You don't...
It's such a nothing, I don't know. It's competent, but that's it. So
yeah. Chris?
Yeah.
You bothered there?
I was thinking about the core actually.
Oh, it's not that low.
Because it's similar vibes to the core.
No, it's not that bad. No,
but it wasn't actively terrible, which is a lot of those films down that far.
It was very come on.
It's just mediocre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I would put it in that sense. I would put it maybe above some of these. Then I would actually. What was your flag in the ground?
I think below Jason X, which is 173.
I think around Equilibrium, which is 1.8.
I would put it a bit higher. I would say something like Alien versus Predator, sort of your 164 Prometheus.
Oh, that's above Jason X. That was.
It's not that.
No,
high.
It's not that good.
Better than The Martian, Chris. You love The Martian.
It's not better than Predators or Deep Blue Sea. Actually, looking at this, or Galaxy Quest.
It's not dissimilar to The Martian, though, is it?
Martian,
in its.
Yeah.
I mean, under Galaxy Quest, maybe. Above Dreamscape, another.
What about one below Jason X? Doom is very high up, isn't it? What is Doom?
Oh no, Doom's brilliant! I love Doom. Because I think we did ultimately agree that Doom is quite a subversive film. That The Rock is, spoilers for Doom, The Rock is like the villain in it, and it fucks with you a bit. Doom, come on,
better than Predators?
No, it's not better than Predators. Come on, that's got the Predator in it. It's not better than Predators.
And Deep Blue Sea's got sharks in it.
Yeah, I reckon below Galaxy Quest.
Below Galaxy Quest.
Oh no, but you hated Galaxy Quest, didn't you?
I did hate Galaxy Quest.
I'll take below Galaxy Quest. I think.
Right. Yeah, 178. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Dreamscape, fuck me.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was funny, terrible though.
But terrible.
Yeah, but terrible. So there we are, the film Life from 2017.
Is there any other Life films that we can watch? Because there's about 1 million Lives.
There's a lot of Lives. This Life comes in at 178, below Galaxy Quest, but above Dreamscape.
No.
What a weird triple bill that would be. No, I don't know if there's any other Lives that we can watch, sadly.
No.
You know what else annoying about this film was the poster for it is a hand inside an astronaut's helmet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What's happening there?
Oh, that's weird.
That's not happening.
No, that didn't happen at all.
When you put Life in, you get all these films called Life, and then there's a Spanish film called Whore. And it's also known as The Life.
The Life.
Yeah, I don't know why there's a hand in the...
No, that's a poster decision, isn't it? But hey, I know what film we can watch is. We can watch Chris Redding's 2017 pick, which is, Chris...
Alien Covenant.
Yes, that's what we can watch. And we will be watching that next week.
Similar scientific issues.
If you go back to one of our earliest podcasts, the spoilers from mine and Chris's opinion, because we'd actually spoiled this, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You did talk about it.
We don't know what episode that's on, though.
I think, actually, though, happy birthday to us. I think we're 5 years old this week.
Wow.
Time,
that's nice.
We kept it together.
Yeah. Look at that. 5 years. Still going strong.
A long road.
Yeah. Watched a lot of films.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a downer ending. Come on, guys.
Here's the 5 more.
It's Saturday night. What's any post? Do we get any post?
No.
Okay.
No.
How's the website?
Oh, looking good. Yeah. That woman's gone.
Getting better.
Gone.
Is it?
Got the woman. Yeah.
I noticed our letterbox is very out of date.
What's that mean?
You know when you click to the list on Letterboxd?
Oh, the list, yeah.
On Letterboxd. It's very...
I'll get in touch with the admin department. Oh, wait, that's me.
Yeah, sorry.
What's Letterboxd?
It's like a... I'll show you. It's a film...
It's very out of date.
Like Goodreads for films.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's, it says that...
We're not using that, though, really, are we?
That's where our official list lives, yeah.
Is it?
It's very...
So yeah, we are using it.
Good to know.
Sorry, yeah, it is very out of date, unfortunately.
I'll
I'm just saying.
I'll get in touch, say admin.
Yeah, this is just the admin side. It's not,
Yeah.
I'm just anyone out there who wants to see an up-to-date version of the list. Email us. We'll send it to you. I've got.
It will be there by the time this podcast goes out. I'll update it. I'll do it now.
I've got an Excel if anyone wants one. Yeah, you can have a signed Excel from all of us on Patreon for £100.
Oh yeah, we should start. That's the 5th anniversary. We're starting a Patreon.
No, let's not do that.
No, we're not.
God.
No, we're not.
We could do one of them. The cameo ones?
Yeah, a lot of demand for that.
Yeah,
our audio podcast.
Hi guys, happy birthday. Just wanted to say happy birthday.
Yeah, this is.
And I'd rate you 1 on a list of fans.
Happy birthday. Yeah. Hey, we just got an email. It's your birthday. Oh god, yeah. Do we even have any? Like, yeah. What we have to?
Yeah, we'll cameo you, right? And we'll rank you as a fan. There you go.
That'd be good.
£100.
Could you somehow like edit my 2001 rant and then put "Happy Birthday" in it at some point?
Could, I'm not going to.
No, I'm just saying we could sell that to people.
Yeah, no, okay. Well, these are all good ideas. If someone wants to get in touch with merch ideas and wants to run it,
yeah,
have at it.
Oh, well, there's no link to our merchandise on our new website.
No, I've not really.
No, you've been busy. No, you've been busy.
I have been busy.
Yeah, we do have merchandise.
Oh yeah, Threadless, whatever. Just go to the website; it's all there. Don't worry about it. The links are all in the show notes for the podcast. Don't worry about
that. Okay.
Just
done. Well, that's us. I mean, Chris will be back because he's in a safe location. Me and Sam might not be. I don't know. We don't really know what's going on.
No, if the event triggers,
fifth wave, firewall number 4 fails, then we'll be
rushing to Chris's safe zone.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. Thank you very much. Bye bye.